right, was it just me, or did any of you guys also try to designate tracks in a Mario Kart game to every character that was playable in said Mario Kart game? I used to do it with Double Dash, with Wii, with 7, and even sometimes with 8 and 8 Deluxe, which is what we're going to do today. Every character in the game would have their own track and be the mascot for. That's what we're doing today. So we're going to match all 79 characters in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, including the alternate color costumes, but we're excluding the Mii. We're going to even the playing field with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well. It has 96 tracks. To bring it down to 79 tracks, we're eliminating all 14 of the Tour City tracks, but also the 3 tracks that do not have an IP associated with it in a character roster. So the 2 F-Zero tracks and Excite Bike Arena are also being eliminated for that reason as well. And because of that, we now have 79 tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to match with the 79 characters. Which characters get which tracks to own and be the mascots for? Let's find out. All right, and before we start, just know that this list is entirely subjective and it is my personal opinion on who I feel deserves to own which track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's just a fun, stupid idea. And if you guys want to comment down your lists below, please do. I would love to read them. But without further ado, let's get on to what I think. All right, Mario Kart Stadium is going to be owned by Mario. This is very simple. I mean, there's so many tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe named Mario or have Mario in the name, but I gave Mario Kart Stadium to Mario because it's the only track out of all the Mario circuits or the Mario tracks in general that has Mario's face on the thumbnail of the track. So I figured it was perfect, and it's the first track in the game. Why not give it to Mario? Water Park, I'm gonna give to Baby Luigi. Now, all the baby characters are gonna have the more childish type tracks, and Water Park to me seems like a childish track where a baby would enjoy going down a water slide or being in the kiddie pool or just something along those lines. So Baby Luigi is gonna get Water Park here. Sweet Sweet Canyon, I'm gonna give to Baby Daisy. I think it's cool to have Baby Daisy own this track. I mean, babies enjoy food. I mean, everybody enjoys food, but I think babies and young children in particular like candy, like desserts, and that's exactly what Sweet Sweet Canyon is. Plus, I do believe it's a daisy crown that's on top of the massive cake that's right past the cannon in this track. I feel like it's perfect to have Baby Daisy represent this track. Swamp Ruins is going to be represented by Link, the Breath of the Wild version. So there's 2 versions of Link, but there's of course only one Hyrule circuit, and I decided to give Breath of the Wild Link this track instead, Swamp Ruins, because it just looks like a Zelda dungeon. It looks like a shrine that you can see in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It looks like there's so many different places to explore in this track if you were to go out of bounds or wherever, but it's got a fun tune, and it definitely seems like the most Zelda-like track out of all the rest of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks that isn't Hyrule Circuit. I figured this was not perfect for Breath of the Wild Link, but a suitable substitute for him. Next up is Mario Circuit, and I'm not a big fan of this pairing, but I gotta do it anyway. I'm giving it to Tanuki Mario, and the reason is I just figured this version of Mario Circuit deserves to have a Mario character represented. By looking through the character roster, the other Mario characters I don't think would have made a great fit for this track, and that really left Tanuki Mario as the only option after giving Mario Kart Stadium to Mario. It's not the best matchup. I know it's unfortunate, but I had to do it. Next up is Toad Harbor. I'm giving this one to Toadette. Now, there's 3 different tracks in this game that have the name Toad in them, so I can't give Toad all those tracks. Obviously, he only gets one of them. So Toadette gets Toad Harbor for this one. In my personal opinion, I think Toadette's the best and most well equipped out of all the Toads, or just, you know, anyone in general, to be able to run the town of Toad Harbor or the port. Toad Harbor seems like a great place, but it deserves someone strong to be able to run that city, and Toadette seems to be that person to do it, and I think Toadette would make a good representative for this track. Next up is Twisted Mansion. I'm giving this one to Luigi. Shockingly, believe it or not, there are no Luigi themed tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There's no track with the name Luigi. That is weirdly unfortunate for some reason, but we have a Luigi's Mansion connection. That's the most loosely based connection we can make here. I know there's King Boo's face right in front of the mansion, but we're not giving this track to King Boo. King Boo gets another track. Luigi needs a track to fit him, and this was the closest one. Next up is Shy Guy Falls. I'm giving this one to Shy Guy, the normal Shy Guy, the red Shy Guy, because it's the only track in the game that has Shy Guy in the name, so I figured the main Shy Guy himself deserves to own the track. Sunshine Airport, I'm giving to Birdo Black. Now, there's 9 different Birdo characters, and they were all the hardest characters to designate tracks to because there's not really any Birdo themed courses, you know, so I just kind of had to take the tracks that didn't already have characters and assign them to these color variants of Birdo, and I felt like the black version of Birdo was the best possible character to put on Sunshine Airport, because if you count her status in Mario Kart Tour, the Black Birdo and the White Birdo are counted as high-end is their official term, and because they have more of a status than the other colored Birdos, even the normal Birdo, who are just the super characters. So because of that, I think the Black Birdo and the White Birdo have a higher status, have a higher level of importance in the Mario hierarchy, So because of that, I figured that we needed someone of that status to run an airport, and I think Birdo Black was well equipped to do so. Dolphin Shoals, I'm giving to Light Blue Yoshi. I mean, there's really just a loose base connection here. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it's a light blue Yoshi, which the light blue color is the closest color to the water in Dolphin Shoals, so I went with that. And also, Yoshis have a, decent history with swimming, with water levels, and just they're able to handle those environments pretty well, I believe. Next up, Electrodrome, and we all know who's getting this track. It's Larry freaking Koopa, man. I mean, this dude has his whole DJ set, his DJ career plastered all over this track. It is his. He's running the show. He's running the club. Who better to represent Electrodrome than the main man himself, the DJ of all DJs, Larry Koopa. Next up is Mount Wario, and I'm giving this one to Wario. I think Wario is a solid representative for this track because, well, his name is in the name of the track. And, well, there's more than one Wario track in this game. I think there's 2 or 3 Wario tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I figured this one was the best one because it's the grandest, it's the newest Wario track, and I think Wario would enjoy that status, that importance of having one of the best tracks in the game named to himself. Next up is Cloud Top Cruise, and I'm giving it to my man, Ludwig von Koopa, of course. I mean, it's an airship, so you could argue it could potentially go to Bowser Jr., but I want to give this one to Ludwig just because he is the boss of all the World 7s in Mario games, of all the Cloud worlds, because World 7s in many Mario games are usually associated with Cloud-themed worlds, especially in the 2D Mario games. Ludwig's been it for like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, for Super Mario Bros. 3. He's always that Cloud world, that World 7 boss. Figured it'd be a solid service to him to give him a Cloud-themed track, and Cloud Top Cruise seemed like it'd be a great fit. Bone Dry Dunes, I'm giving a Dry Bowser. Is there really anything else I need to add? I mean, Dry Bowser's face is plastered right in front of the cave. I had to do it. It had to go to Dry Bowser here. Bowser's Castle is going to Bowser. Simple as that. I mean, I know we just had SNES Bowser's Castle 3, and we got Neo Bowser City as well, but those are going to different characters. I figured Bowser deserves to have his own main castle that was in Mario Kart 8. Rainbow Road is going to, don't kill me, guys, Pink Gold Peach. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Who else was gonna get a track designated to Pink Gold Peach? What track was Pink Gold Peach going to represent? I figured she's a metallic character, and because of that higher echelon of status that these metallic characters can carry amongst themselves, I figured they deserve to have the Rainbow Roads. Pink Gold Peach debuted in Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, which this specific Rainbow Road also debuted on, so I figured they would go hand in hand with each other. Next up, Wii Moo Moo Meadows. I'm giving a Birdo Green. I don't know, I got nothing here. I just figured maybe out of all the Birdo colors, this green one was the most well equipped to take care of a farm. I don't know, that's really all I got. Next, it's GBA Mario Circuit. I'm giving this one a Pink Yoshi. Now, it's a strange connection, but hear me out. Pink Yoshi was one of the 4 Yoshi colors that were playable in Mario Kart Super Circuit via the link cable. If you had the link cable, you only got to play as one of the Yoshi colors. It was either green Yoshi, light blue Yoshi, pink Yoshi, or yellow Yoshi, and then you would play on either a GBA battle course or like a random GBA track or something along those lines, and it was kind of cool. So that's kind of the connection I made there. It's kind of loose, but it's also kind of niche. Let me know if you picked up on that one. DS Cheap Cheap Beach, I'm giving to Wendy O Koopa, and same reason as Ludwig. I think Wendy is usually the boss for all of the Sea World, the beach world in either Mario Bros 3 or New Super Mario Bros games. Wendy is usually that boss. She usually flip-flops, but I think between the ice world and the beach world, but I think she's more commonly in the beach world themes for bosses. So I figured giving her a beach/water theme level to represent, to own, is solid, and Cheap Cheap Beach seemed to be like a decent fit for her. N64 Toad's Turnpike, I'm giving a Birdo White. Again, another character in another track that I just had no idea what to put together, so I just smashed them together. Birdo White, same tier status as Birdo Black in terms of Mario Kart Tour. Those were the 2 colors of Birdo that were the high-end characters, so they were more rare than the rest of the colored Birdos that were in that game. So I feel like the same thing, if there was going to be a highway named after a character or a character that could own or run a specific highway, then I think White Birdo is the one most capable of doing so simply because of that status. GCN Dry Desert's going to Roy Koopa. I'm so sorry, Roy. You're so much cooler than this track, but you also control all the desert worlds in whether it's Super Mario Bros. 3 or the new Super Mario Bros. Series. You are the World 2, the desert world type of guy, at least for the most part. That's why I had to give you the desert track to represent, because that is you, my dude. Next up is SNES Donut Plains 3, and this is our first Inkling character that's getting a track. I'm giving it to the Purple Inkling Boy. Now, no real really specifications on the color and why I chose that one, but I went with an Inkling character simply because it looks like a Splatoon map. And honestly, that little gray castle that's in the middle of the track, I'm gonna sound like such an idiot, but guys, I do not play Splatoon at all, but I'm pretty sure that there is a mode in Splatoon where you're supposed to seize a castle or seize like a flag or something in the middle of the stage and have control of it. And I feel like that castle in the middle of Dawn of Plains 3 can be that sort of object or thing that one team has to take control of if you're a team in Splatoon. So it seems like it can make for a decent Splatoon map. N64 Royal Raceway is going to none other than Peach. I mean, there's other Peach named tracks like Peach Gardens, of course, that added in the booster course pass, but there's also other Peach characters in this game as well. So those characters are going to get those tracks. We'll get to them later. But I figured the main Royal track in this game, Royal Raceway, which is the most grandiose, celebratory, and celebrates Peach in particular, had to go to the authentic official Peach in Mario Kart Deluxe. DK Jungle's going to Donkey Kong. I mean, this was really simple. Donkey Kong owns his jungle. He owns the temple in the jungle. It's DK. It's got his name on it. Like, he's that dude. Next up is DS Wario Stadium. And since Wario already claimed a track, who's going to get this track? I'm giving it to none other than the Cyan Inkling Boy. Honestly, really no reason other than this looks like a Splatoon stage, kind of. I mean, the anti-gravity part of the track messes that whole theory up, but if it stuck to the original DS version of the track, it would have been a Splatoon stage. And honestly, most of the track does seem like it can still fit the whole mantra of being a Splatoon stage. You can disregard all the anti-gravity stuff, and regardless, it seems like an arena type track anyway, which Splatoon battles can very well be set in an arena if they wanted to be, because they can be very fun like that. Next up, GCN Sherbet Land. I'm giving to the OG Birdo. That's right, regular old pink Birdo gets Sherbet Land, and the main reason is that Birdo debuted her Mario Kart career in Mario Kart Double Dash, and this is a GameCube track, a Double Dash track, so I figured giving Birdo a Double Dash track makes a lot of sense here. And I think Sherbet Land is good because I'm pretty sure Birdo might have had some sort of history with skating. I can't really pinpoint it. Maybe it's just like either the Olympic Games or something, but I feel like Birdo and skating kind of go hand in hand. I could be completely wrong there, but regardless, I think it is a good, somewhat celebratory track that Birdo would sort of enjoy, the nice icy vibes. Next up is Music Park, and I'm giving it to Birdo Yellow. Man, we're just clearing through all the Birdos and giving them some just base game tracks. I don't know what it is. I just had to come up with some characters to own these tracks. No one really fit Music Park. There wasn't really a lot of characters that were all about that dancing life, so I figured, you know, Birdo Yellow could probably dance. I think she could rock it. I'm not sure. Next up is N64 Yoshi Valley, so of course I'm giving it to a Yoshi. There are 9 different colored Yoshis we can choose to give Yoshi Valley to. Guess what I'm going to give it to? Orange Yoshi. Did you see that one coming? Please let me know if you let it down in the comments below. Oh my lord. Give the video a like if you guys Orange Yoshi. It's really just the color scheming, like the sunset vibes that Yoshi Valley has sort of fits what Orange Yoshi's color scheme is in general, and I think the two can make a pretty solid pairing. That's pretty much the only reason I went with it. Next up is DS TikTok Clock, and I'm giving it to White Shy Guy. All right, we're starting to get into the Shy Guy characters. I mean, we gave regular old Shy Guy a track already, but we haven't gotten to the color schemed Shy Guys, and White Shy Guy is getting DS TikTok Clock for the sole purpose of that you have been able to play as White Shy Guy in Mario Kart DS's download play mode. I mean, there were other Shy Guys that are also in this game that you could play in DS download play mode as well, but I figured those guys already had tracks that we're going to get to later on, and this was one of the later tracks that I had to give to a character, so this made the most sense to me, and yeah, I figured it kind of fits. Next up is 3DS Piranha Plant Slide. Of course, I'm giving this one to Petey Piranha. I mean, Petey was either going to get Piranha Plant Slide or Piranha Plant Cove, because I mean, Petey, Piranha Plants, I mean, they go hand in hand together. So We Grumble Volcano, I'm giving to Kamek. All right, Kamek doesn't really have a track I think that necessarily fits that character in a particular way, so I'm giving it We Grumble Volcano because the only explanation I could come up with is that Kamek could potentially use its wand to sort of cause the ground to shake and crumble. I know that's not really how it works. It was just, you know, the ground itself is just going through an earthquake and it's falling and the force of the lava, yada yada yada. But I figured maybe if we wanted a Mario-ified explanation for why that's happening, maybe Kamek using its wand could be that reason, and hence why giving Kamek the ownership of this track could be a good idea. Next up is N64 Rainbow Road. I'm giving this one to Metal Mario. Metal Mario gets this track simply because Metal Mario debuted as a character in Super Smash Bros. On the N64, and he debuted as a power-up to Mario Mario in Super Mario 64, so he's been around since the Nintendo 64 days, and this Rainbow Road is a rendition of the Nintendo 64 version of Rainbow Road, so there it is. The connection is there, hand in hand. Yoshi Circuit, I'm giving a black Yoshi. Again, same thing as like Black Birdo as well. They both were in the high-end level, the high-tier characters in Mario Kart Tour. So because of that, I figured Black Yoshi has somewhat of a higher status compared to all of the other colored Yoshis that we will talk about later, which tracks they might get. And because this is a track that is designed of Yoshi, shaped like a Yoshi, I figured we needed an important Yoshi to be able to own / run the track, because we're giving the regular Yoshi a different track. I'm sure you guys know which track that is. I figured Black Yoshi would be able to take the reins and run Yoshi Circuit. Dragon Driftway, I'm giving to Red Yoshi. Back-to-back Yoshi characters getting ownership of these tracks. How about it? I mean, it is the Egg Cup after all, so I mean, why wouldn't it just be filled with Yoshi ownership? So Red Yoshi's getting Dragon Driftway, not only because of that, but because of the reference in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, where Yoshi can turn into a dragon for his final smash. I do miss that final smash. I mean, the new one's fine, but I do miss the Dragon Yoshi final smash. So this is just an homage to that version of Yoshi's final smash, and I think it's kind of cool. So give Red Yoshi that one. Next up is Wii Wario's Gold Mine, and I'm not giving this one to Wario because he already had a track named after him. So I'm giving this one to Yellow Shy Guy. How about that? He's the next man up. I mean, Yellow Shy Guy to match with Wario being yellow or wearing yellow himself. But also, if I remember correctly, I think maybe it's some sort of Mandela effect or something, but I'm pretty sure that the Shy Guys that were either doing the mining or the Shy Guys that were underground with all the gold were yellow Shy Guys. But I could be wrong. It could have just been like the gold bricks or like the gold houses or huts that were underneath the Wario's Gold Mine track. But it really made me think that those were yellow Shy Guys that were working around the track. I could be completely wrong, but that's the connection I made, and I think Yellow Shy Guy makes a good rep for this track. So next, Rainbow Road, I'm giving to Baby Rosalina. Of course, I gotta give Rosalina and Baby Rosalina a Rainbow Road track because it's in outer space. Rosalina is gonna get a different Rainbow Road track, but Baby Rosalina gets the smallest Rainbow Road track and the one that's probably closest to the ground. SNES Rainbow Road. It's like the baby version of Rainbow Road if you think about it, which it's really not because it's the Rainbow Road that has no guardrails and therefore the least amount of guardrails, but it's the smallest track. Again, I gave it to Baby Rosalina. Ice Outpost, I'm giving a Green Shy Guy. Boy, Kate, what's the explanation on that one? I wish I can tell you. My only explanation, I guess, is that one half of the entire track is green, so Green Shy Guy could match with one of those colors. And I think also Shy Guys just like ice in general. They skate around in Sherbet Land on GameCube, so that's all I got. Hyrule Circuit, oh boy, we're gonna have such a hard time figuring out a character to match this one with. Yeah, no, it's Link. Let's move on. GCM Baby Park, so I'm obviously gonna give this one to a baby character, but which baby character am I gonna give it to? I'm giving it to Baby Peach, and the one reason is because of the statue of Baby Pink Gold Peach in the background of Baby Park, which makes me think that Baby Mario and Baby Luigi no longer own the track despite their images being on the front banner at the starting line. Baby Peach has a statue of her, so I figured she took the reign. She bought out Baby Park. GBA Cheeseland is going to none other than Dry Bones. Now, why did I do this? I kind of figured that GBA Cheeseland is more of like the baby version of Bone Dry Dunes. It's not really in terms of track difficulty, but in terms of its intimidation factor, I think Bone Dry Dunes is a lot more scary of a track. The sand is a lot more red and it feels more dangerous than something like Cheeseland, especially with the song feels a lot more lively in Cheeseland than it does in Bone Dry Dunes. Even though that song is more groovy, this one is more upbeat and energetic in Cheeseland. So Dry Bones, because of that, gets the more light version of the sandy desert track. Even though we know it's cheese, it's desert, kind of, it feels the same to me. So Cheeseland goes to Dry Bones. Wild Woods is going to Black Shy Guy. I don't know. I think he's like the mayor of all those Shy Guy huts, the Shy Guy villages that are on the treetop canopies. It could theoretically go to any Shy Guy, but I just decided to give it to Black Shy Guy. Animal Crossing goes to Isabel. No explanation needed. Let's move on. 3DS Neo Bowser City, I'm giving to Pauline. All right, think about it. I know it's a Bowser track, but listen, I figured this one could work for Pauline because it kind of looks like the start of New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey when you get to it for the first time when it's dark, it's nighttime, and it's raining, and there's so many skyscrapers creepers everywhere. That is basically what Neo Bowser City is. I was either describing Neo Bowser City or New Donk City. It's both. They are the same thing, especially when you first enter New Donk City. When it gets to daytime New Donk City, that's when things start to get different. But Pauline is still the mayor of that city, whether it's raining and dark or if it's sunshine and rainbows. And obviously, we only get to see Neo Bowser City when it's rainy and dark. I figure Pauline could potentially run that city too, or at least act like she's running the city. So that's what I went with here. GBA Ribbon Road is going to Baby Mario, and just like that, we've completed all the baby characters. They have all gotten their tracks owned to them in the base game of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Pretty solid. Ribbon Road makes the most sense. It's set place in a child's bedroom. I mean, there's no crib anywhere as far as I can see, but there's a lot of like baby toys. Baby Mario saved his brother when he was a baby, so I figured he doesn't necessarily need a crib. He could use a bed all he wants. I don't know. So that, yeah, Baby Mario gets Ribbon Road. Super Bell Subway's going to the Inkling Girl. This is the most Splatoon-like track that isn't directly from Splatoon, because Splatoon only has a direct battle track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They don't have a direct normal track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, unfortunately, but they get Super Bell Subway. At least the normal Inkling Girl does, because there's so much graffiti on the wall and it's underground, kind of. It's enclosed. I feel like those are all perfect properties to have a Splatoon type matchup in, and that's why I'm giving it to them. All right, now we're on to the Booster Course Pass tracks. And remember, no city tracks will be mentioned in this video. They don't get owned by a character, so we're going through all 34 of these tracks that aren't the Tour City tracks. So starting off, we have 3DS Toad Circuit, and that's going to Toad. That's pretty much it. All the other Toad tracks have been taken. Toad Circuit's going to Toad. N64 Chocolate Mountain's going to Morton Koopa Jr. I mean, that's mainly because that Morton Koopa is normally the boss for these rock type worlds. At least he wasn't like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and I figured that's the most synonymous game to give him a representation for a level, for a world. I always associate Morton Koopa with rock worlds because of that, and therefore he gets Choco Mountain. All right, you guys might not like this pick, but Wii Coconut Mall, I'm giving to Cat Peach. I really had nothing here. I think Peach maybe enjoys shopping from time to time. I think it makes somewhat good sense, and maybe she even got that cat suit from the mall, from the Coconut Mall. Who knows? I didn't really have any clear explanation here or any worthy recipient or representative for this track, so it's going to Cat Peach. DS Room Ridge is going to Light Blue Shy Guy. The light blue, I mean, is the same as the light blue in the sky. That's really all I got. I mean, the DS download play comparisons are there. Light Blue Shy Guy was a playable character through download play Mario Kart DS as well. Those are the only comparisons I got. GBA Sky Garden's going to Lakitu. I mean, Lakitu likes clouds. Lakitu literally rides in a cloud 24/7. This is a cloudy track. The other cloud track was taken, so yeah, this one's going to Lakitu. Ninja Hideaway's going to Blue Shy Guy, simply because Ninja Shy Guy in Mario Kart Tour is depicted of a blue Shy Guy. I mean, there's also a pink Ninja Shy Guy as well, but the normal Ninja Shy Guy was blue, and so Blue Shy Guy is getting the nod for this track. Congratulations, you own Ninja Hideaway. SNES Mario Circuit 3 is going to Inkling Girl Lime. All right, the Lime Inkling Girl gets Mario Circuit 3 again. Didn't really matter which Inkling Girl got this track. I just figured that, well, the color scheming is probably closely accurate there, and also it's a flat track, so I feel like it can make for a great Splatoon map once again. It doesn't make for a great Mario Kart track. Maybe it does make for a better Splatoon map than it does for a Mario Kart track. Let me know. N64 Calamari Desert going to Orange Shy Guy. I kind of went with the whole color scheming again, like the orange Yoshi with Yoshi Valley thing, Orange Shy Guy with the orange desert, the orange sunset of Calamari Desert. But also, Shy Guy is a master at conducting trains, so maybe there's a Shy Guy riding the train, or, you know, controlling the train, because remember Shy Guy's Perplex Express from Mario Party 8? Yeah, Shy Guys know how to operate a train, so maybe this is a Shy Guy track and we just don't know it. DS Waluigi Pinball is going to Waluigi himself. I mean, it was between this and Waluigi Stadium as to which Waluigi track was going to get owned by Waluigi. I figured to give it to Waluigi Pinball just because Waluigi Stadium is going to get a different character. You'll see. But Waluigi Pinball is that track. It's Waluigi's most famous, most well-known track, so of course he had to own this one. GBA Snowland going to Lemmy Koopa. All right, Lemmy Koopa gets this track. I mean, it's pretty simple. Lemmy Koopa is usually the boss for ice worlds, as far as I know. Lemmy Koopa, at least in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, was the ice boss. He maybe was never an ice boss again going forward, but again, I'm really just basing the Koopaling bosses from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Some of them were from Super Mario Bros. 3 as well, others from, you know, New Super Mario Bros. 2 or U, or the OG New Super Mario Bros., whichever one it was. But regardless, Lemmy has been a boss for an ice world before, and therefore he gets this track. Wii Mushroom Gorge is going to Yellow Yoshi. Very underwhelming. I know. I'm so sorry. Yoshis, I guess, like to go in caves and explore caves like in the Yoshi's Island game. It kind of seems like Yoshi's Island vibey in a way. I don't know. Sky High Sunday. Also going to a different colored Yoshi. This time white Yoshi. Yoshis like to eat food. I think, you know, besides Wario, Yoshis are most synonymous with food than any other character, I think, in the Mario series. So there you go. Yoshi's eating food. They're eating ice cream as well. That counts. GBA Boo Lake is going to King Boo. I mean, King Boo got robbed from Twisted Mansion by Luigi himself, just like in the OG Luigi's Mansion game and all the other subsequent Luigi Mansions games. But King Boo is going to get his actual lake back. Boo Lake. I mean, it's not called King Boo Lake, but it's Boo Lake, and there's a lot of boos, so King Boo can take reign of all the boos in that lake. 3DS Rock Mountain is going to Birdo Red. I mean, all right, listen, hear me out. Gonna be such a random explanation, but I think, you know, in the first level of Super Mario Brothers 2, you have to climb a tall, not necessarily tall mountain, it's a tall beanstalk, but imagine you're climbing a mountain, or it's gonna help you scale a mountain. And Rock Mountain's a very steep, tall track as well. So I think once you get to the top of that mountain, you end up having to face a Birdo as a boss. I think it's either the pink colored Birdo, but I'm pretty sure there's a red Birdo in that game as well. And there's a very loose connection there that I could be very wrong on, but I figured that could be the vibe. We Maple Treeway going to none other than Wiggler. Wigglers are on top of Maple Treeway. They are controlling the entire canopy and the entire area. I would assume it's the biggest tree in the entire land. So no wonder the Wigglers pretty much own that. Wiggler owns Maple Treeway, whether you like it or not. DS Peach Gardens is going to none other than Peachette. Peachette is, you know, half Peach, half Toadette. And I think Peach and Toadette sort of had a history with gardening. Maybe Toadette does. I'm not too sure. It's her garden. It is the track. Her name's in the title of the track. So yeah, Peachette it is. Mary Mountain going to Villager Female. I didn't really want to do it, but I didn't know what other track to give Villager Female, so it's gonna get Mary Mountain. Maybe it looks like an Animal Crossing island that they can run, that they could build the town for, especially when it snows and it's winter time. Maybe that's sort of a vibe. I know most Animal Crossing islands are flat, but you know, this one's very hilly, and I think you can maybe build a town off of it. 3DS Rainbow Road is going to Gold Mario. Similarly, for the reasons of Metal Mario, Gold Mario didn't debut technically until Super Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Brothers 2 on the 3DS. That was the power-up version. Gold Mario got that, and he was also playable, made his playable debut outside of being a skin of Metal Mario and Mario Golf 64. He made his actual playable debut in Mario Golf World Tour on the 3DS. So 3DS is where Gold Mario started beginning to shine, so he gets the 3DS version of Rainbow Road. GBA Riverside Park going to Iggy Koopa. Once again, in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Iggy Koopa was the boss for the jungle world in that game, and maybe in future games or earlier games, he had the jungle world as well, but it really doesn't matter. He's getting the jungle themed track, or at least sort of jungle. Riverside Park's not really much of a jungle, but it's got that vibe that it's going for, so he's getting this track whether you like it or not. Wii DK Summit is going to Funky Kong. All right, there's 3 DK tracks in this game and 3 DK characters, so it was perfect. I didn't really have to think too hard about which DK tracks to give to which DK characters. Funky Kong gets Wii DK Summit because, I mean, Mario Kart Wii was Funky Kong's game, so he gets the Wii version of the DK track. Yoshi's Island is going to Yoshi. The good old green regular main Yoshi that we all know and love. Yeah, no other colored Yoshi is really deserving in this track, but in reality, technically they all are because they were all playable in Yoshi's Island. But the main man himself is gonna get it. The main Yoshi deserves it. DS Mario Circuit is going to Blue Yoshi? I really didn't have a match for this one. The only explanation I could come up with is that Blue Yoshi was the character in Yoshi's Island that would face all of the bosses. So he ends up going to all of the castles, and there's a castle in DS Mario Circuit. Obviously, it's a castle that's not corrupted yet, but yet is the word. Maybe it will get corrupted soon, and Blue Yoshi will have to go in there and defeat the boss like he does in all the world bosses in Yoshi's Island. So there's that very loose, unjustifiable connection there. GC and Waluigi Stadium is going to Inkling Boy, the OG Inkling Boy, because look at that. Look at the stage. Waluigi Stadium looks a lot like a Splatoon map. I mean, it's got the dirt roads and it's set in an arena. It's a perfect setting for a Splatoon match. So Waluigi's already got his pinball. He can lend the stadium to the Splatoon map. Speaking of Splatoon maps, GC and Daisy Cruiser is going to the Magenta Inkling Girl. I figured the Cruiser could maybe work also as some sort of interesting level of Splatoon map. You got like the bow and the rear of the boat just kind of, you know, going at it. And that's pretty much all I got. I mean, there's also water surrounding the stage, so it can make for an interesting hazard. Like, you know, if you fall off Daisy Cruiser, then you're screwed because the Inklings don't do well with water. So you got to do your best to stay on the stage. It can make for an interesting stage. I don't know. Wii Moonview Highway is going to Birdo Blue. And there's really no other explanation other than the other Birdo got a highway track, so I figured another colored Birdo could also get the other highway track. I mean, just look at the vibrancy, look at the saturation of the blue on this Birdo. I mean, it's the deepest yet most richest blue I've ever seen, and it looks beautiful in the night sky. So I figured this Birdo would work perfectly being the representative of Moonview Highway. Squeaky clean sprint going to none other than Villager. I mean, the main male villager can get squeaky clean sprint just because I think, I don't know, maybe at some point in Animal Crossing you can decorate the bathroom, and maybe you can already decorate a bathroom in Animal Crossing, but there's also already decorable Mario items that you can use. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to think that this is an Animal Crossing themed bathroom with all Mario memorabilia decorated in there, because Animal Crossing has crossovered with Mario to give Mario decor in Animal Crossing for you to use for your house, maybe for your bathroom too. Let me know. GBA Sunset Wilds is going to Pink Shy Guy. I mean, we already had Orange Shy Guy take a track, so I figured Pink Shy Guy could take this one. It could just be reminiscent of the what if. Like, what if the sunset worked? If the sunset worked, we could have had a lap 2 where the sky was potentially deep pink. In this Shy Guy, it's more of a light pink, but it could have been the same. It could have worked out. And there's also Shy Guys on the track and Shy Guys on the thumbnail. So a Shy Guy had to be in control of this track. Wee Koopa Cape is going to Koopa. It's the easiest one. This is the only track in this game with Koopa in the name of the track. So of course, Koopa Troopa's getting this track. GCN DK Mountain is going to Diddy Kong. This was the last DK track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the last remaining DK character yet to have a track. Diddy Kong also made his Mario Kart debut in Double Dash, and this is a Double Dash track, so it works perfectly together. Wee Daisy Circuit's going to Daisy. I mean, we just had Daisy Cruiser snatched away by the Inkling girls in a Splatoon map style, so I figured the other Daisy track can go to Daisy. It makes sense. You guys probably already put 2 and 2 together like that, so let me know what you think. I think Daisy is better off owning Daisy Circuit than Daisy Cruiser. Next up, Piranha Plant Cove, I'm giving to Birdo Orange. The only reason I'm doing this is because Birdo Orange really just seems like a character that never really existed at all in Mario media before this game, before Mario Kart Tour. I figure Birdo Orange is such an enigma that she probably spent her entire time waiting to be discovered, like everything else down here in Piranha Plant Cove, which seems like in unexplored ruins. All right, you would think Rosalina would get her own ice road, right? Wrong. I'm giving it to Light Blue Birdo, or Birdo Light Blue, I should say, is their official name. I don't know why they did the whole parentheses thing before the Birdos. I don't know. Birdo Light Blue gets his track because the track itself is light blue. Again, the whole skating thing, maybe Birdos like to skate. Maybe I'm just making that up. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, Birdo Light Blue's getting this track because Rosalina is getting the other track that you know. SNES Bowser Castle 3 is going to Bowser Jr. Yep, I didn't know which track to give Bowser Jr. There were so many candidates to give Bowser Jr. for a track, but I figured Bowser Jr. wanted to be as menacing as his father, so he's going to get SNES Bowser Castle 3. It also kind of looks a lot like Corona Mountain from Super Mario Sunshine in terms of it's just a steep lava level and there's not much to it besides lava and just some brick that is very close to the lava, and it seems interesting enough. I mean, there are some differences. Obviously, it's not a one-to-one comparison, but it definitely looks more like Corona Mountain than the actual Bowser Castle track does in this game. So because of that, and that loose comparison right there, I'm giving this track to Bowser Jr. Last but not least, Wii Rainbow Road, I'm giving it to Rosalina. Yep, Rosalina debuted in Galaxy in 2007. The year later, she came into Mario Kart Wii as a playable character, and a character that was so hard to unlock, but you could cheat your way to unlocking her if you had a copy of Super Mario Galaxy. So Rosalina is sort of synonymous with Mario Kart Wii and just the Wii era because of that. That's why I gave Rosalina Wii Rainbow Road instead of her own track. That's gonna do it. 79 characters, including the alternate color costumes in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, matched up with 79 of the Mario Kart 8 tracks. Which characters did I get completely wrong? Again, this is completely subjective. Let me know your lists in the comment below. Like, which characters would you designate or be the mascot to own which track? It's just something I end up randomly doing in my mind all the time. So if you guys enjoyed this concept, please leave a like on the video below. I'd really appreciate that. And thank you so much to my members. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys so much for all the extra support. It truly means the world to me, and I would not be where I am without you guys. So thank you so much for your support. But if you guys are new here and enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this and let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay all pro, and I'm out of here.